Hey, Phantomaniacs, welcome to the newest unboxing here on the Needless Things YouTube channel. It is once again Trek Tuesday, and we're taking a look at the third and final release from the new classic Star Trek movie series, Wrath of Khan figures from Playmates Star Trek Universe line. This is a new all-encompassing line of Star Trek toys. I'm delighted to see it. In the past couple of weeks, I reviewed Kirk and Khan, and now we're taking a look at Captain Spock. I love this packaging. The Enterprise up here on the top looks great. The space background, the sort of burst behind the figure, it all is absolutely wonderful. And then, of course, they have chosen the SETI eel as the logo for Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. I'm looking forward to seeing future classic Star Trek movie series figures and what the different identifying logos look like. Although I do hope we finish the the Wrath of Khan cast before we move on to anything else, because it's never been done in a mass market retail kind of way, and we need it. I need it. That's one of the reasons I was so excited about this line. On the back of the box, we've got the cross cell with the other figures in the wave, and then we have the galactic accessories. The engineering tool allows Spock to handle practically any breakdown that might occur on the Enterprise. A Starfleet Tricorder, the movie version of the Tricorder, the standard data processing device for all away missions. The Tricorder quickly analyzes field data and stores it for later study. Radiation gloves, the most tragic accessory of all time, provides radiation protection to the hands when in the warp core chamber. Unfortunately, though, it does not. They do not provide protection for anything else. And then the Starfleet action base. Stand him up or plug him into the base. Khan is always ready for action. So once again, we got a little cut and paste here, where clearly Khan was the first figure that they wrote copy for, and then they just cut and pasted on the base. Although it's interesting to note, oh no, it does. It does still refer to the base as a bonus, which is a little silly, but whatever. And then over here we have a file card of sorts. Subject Spock, species Vulcan/human, rank captain, assignment first officer, USS Enterprise, NCC 1701. Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, seeking vengeance on James T. Kirk. Superhuman tyrant Khan hijacks a starship, steals the Genesis device, and sets a deadly trap for the crew of the Enterprise. And then you've got, what else would it be called? A Q code for parents only. So there you go. Beautiful packaging. Lots of accessories with this one. Let's open him up and take a look. So far, I'm having a lot of fun with this line. This is a toy line. I'm not looking at this as a line for adult collectors, although obviously plenty of adult collectors are going to be purchasing these. But to me, this is a toy line, and I am judging it and scoring. I don't really score things here. I'm judging it as such. And I've got a little plastic tab, and you know what? Did the other ones have this? I guess they did. All right. Let's get Spock out of there. Now, they had a choice with this figure. Do we give him the Vulcan salute hand, or do we give him a regular hand, or do we provide an interchangeable hand maybe? And I don't know, for a toy line, this was the right answer. And the reason I say that is because the original Star Trek toy line from Playmates did the same thing. His default hand is just the Vulcan, live long and prosper, LLAP. And that's honestly as it should be. I'm good with that. So you can see, comparison-wise, that these figures are aesthetically different from the original Playmates figures. While those came in at about 4 3/4 inches, these are a full 5 inches. And just body type and everything, they're just different. These are not, for me anyway, these are not going to go on a shelf together. But I will still be displaying both because I absolutely love the old Playmates line. So detail wise, let's take a look at this guy. First of all, the portrait. This is, I think, a fantastic toy portrait of Leonard Nimoy. Again, this is not an adult collectible. Photorealistic portrait was not really something I expected from this line, but I think they've done a really nice job with this, with the ears, the hair. You can see the sculpt of the hair, and I mean very clearly that is Leonard Nimoy. So it's not like they sort of fudged it to not have to pay a likeness or something, you know. I mean, this is a Spock figure, and it looks great. You can see the painted detail. Let me get my light a little higher up here. The painted detail here on all the gold parts, the braiding on the sleeve. Just lots of fantastic detail in these uniforms, which, by the way, uh, these are my favorite costumes from science fiction. I very badly want an actual Star Trek movie uniform. Someday I will have one. But just, I mean, everything about this just looks regal and cool. I love these. I've loved them since I was a little kid. Even on the back here, they didn't skimp on the paint right up here. This metallic piece that holds the shoulder strap in place, painted silver. The collar has really nice paint on it. You can see, yes, it is a toy line, but it is a toy line with very precise detailing and a lot of care taken to present a great looking figure. These can sit down. They do have a 90-degree bend here at the hips, and then also the knees, which have a little bit more than 90 degrees. So if we do ever get vehicles or anything, these figures will be able to sit in them. The ankles are a little bit different from what we're used to in that they have kind of an older style where they pivot, but the swivel is at the top rather than connected to the foot. So these are a little more limited than what we're used to with modern toy lines. The hips are pretty good. They do everything you want them to do. Elbows, uh, just about a 90-degree bend right there, but there is a swivel and a pivot. Shoulders are kind of your standard issue shoulders. No bicep swivel, but it's really not necessary on something this scale. And then the head is on a ball joint and has, it's fairly expressive. It's not bad. Accessory wise, let's take a look. We already talked about the battle stand, and not really a battle stand in the world of Star Trek, I guess. As I've said in the other two reviews, they're a little small. If this was just a little bit bigger, I'd be happier with it. And again, if you kind of turn it to the side, you get, I don't know, I don't care for it that way. And they don't quite stand on it right this way, but it does what it's supposed to do. Can't complain too much. And then we have, what did they call this thing? The engineering tool. And these are all, keep in mind, this is a toy line. So all of these accessories are very simple. There is no paint. They are what they are, and I'm okay with that. So he doesn't have two hands with which to hold the engineering tool. Let's see what kind of grip he can get on this thing. Fortunately, the hands are a softer plastic, so they can be kind of manipulated into holding larger items. And he can sort of interact with it, kind of. It's not perfect, but if I was a kid, I mean, and the problem is, when I was a kid, figures did not have this much articulation and this much range. So, there's really no comparison to be made. But when I was a kid, this would have delighted me, to this degree of interaction. Uh, and then he also had, and you're limited to just using his left hand. I really wish, although these don't have interchangeable hands, that's not even a thing in this line. But it would have been nice to have another C grip to go over here, because now he's just got that left hand for the tricorder. Again, sculpt it's basic, and yet it has a nice amount of detail for a toy. And I'm going to be honest with you right now. I am not even certain how they hold these things. Like there's a screen. You can see the screen right there. So it would seem it's held with this towards the face. But then there's also kind of a button over here and what looks like a lens over here. So I don't know. He can't really hold it with the screen to his face, but he can hold it this way. And he can kind of do that. I don't know. I'm probably not going to pose him with this, but the accessories are a little hit or miss as to how well they interact with the figure and how functional they are. Okay, so let's get these radiation gloves on him. These are big Mickey Mouse looking gloves. They're kind of hilarious. And what's really funny is when you go online, all of the pictures of the figure, he has the gloves on. But these are pretty accurate to the movie. I like the silver paint on the back. So they actually did put some paint on these accessories, which is something different. And then they've got these slits here so you can get them over his hands. Over time, I don't know. Gosh, I don't know how I'm even going to get this thumb in there. How is this even going to work? Oh, okay. You just jam it in. Over time, I don't know how well this soft plastic is going to hold up. There we go. So, so you can see, despite this being the most tragic scene in any movie that I saw in my youth, this is a little silly looking, and it's accurate. Well, maybe it's not accurate. I don't think the gloves were quite this large in the movie. Uh, but hey, it's a toy line. You need to just calm down and be happy we've got a nice Spock toy in 2022. You hear me? Or else you're going to get this right upside your head. So anyway, there he is, Captain Spock from Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. Pretty awesome figure. I am very happy about these. Like I said, if they can get to the whole crew, I will be delighted. It's one of my toy dreams. One of my toy grails is to have the entire cast of Wrath of Khan, or the main cast of Wrath of Khan, on my shelf. Need it. So thanks for watching, you guys. Like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about Needless Things. Come back every week for new toy reviews. And live long and prosper.
Smash that like button if you like Needless Things.